Welcome back to the last night, and you might notice the floor is slightly different, slightly prettier. That's really the only thing that's changed about the appearance of the game itself, though. We're going to start seeing the night enemies a lot more frequently from here on, which should be expected. It's very easy to get stun locked by them when there are multiple. I recommend unleashing your charge as soon as you have it. So this is the second to last video already. After this video, the bosses will start to repeat with very slight variations, save for the final boss. This room might be more challenging if all three knights attacked us at once, but the knights don't have a very wide aggro range, so it's easy to take them out one at a time. Which I think I demonstrate right here. You can hit me all you want, but your tiny lasers don't hurt. Well, that hurt, but your tiny lasers don't. As I said last video, thanks to the shield power, any attack that only deals 1 damage will not hurt us. We upgraded our dexterity, which makes us move faster and also increases our sword swinging speed. Also, we got my favorite power-up. Hell yes. Now, I think all of the power-ups in this game are useful, which I already said. But shooting a wave out of your sword that deals a whole 10 damage to anything it hits, that's a big deal. I mean, 10 damage is the base damage for your charge attack. And the game isn't nearly long enough for this power-up to become obsolete in any way. Let's try that again. I find that this power-up is especially useful against bosses. Especially the final boss, but I don't think we're going to have it for that. You don't have to put yourself in harm's way nearly as often when you have this. Oh hey, we're almost to the boss already. I wasn't really paying that much attention. You'll notice that even if our initial strike hits something, the wave projectile will go beyond our initial strike and hit enemies behind it. So this guy, he's just like the last dragon. Except instead of rotating around the entire screen, he only moves once. Like that. And then he resumes firing at us. Now this is meant to be more difficult than the previous version of the dragon, where he rotated around the entire screen. But I find this version to be way easier because you only have to make slight adjustments each time he moves. Yeah. That's okay, they tried. You'll notice that the bosses are starting to get way more health, and if you don't upgrade your strength quite a bit, this will probably be frustrating to you. Hey, it's the return of the orb enemies. I'm sure you remember them. We saw them back in the first video, I think. In conjunction with the night enemies, they're a fair bit more difficult, but the method to evade them remains the same. Just move left or right when they charge at you, and they do vibrate before they charge. Pretty simple. With our new power-up, we could actually take them out before they charge at us, but I think it's better to just let them do their thing first. Like in a lot of bullet hell shooters, your character's hitbox is right in their center. So although melee enemies will have no trouble hitting you, bullets will have trouble reaching you as long as you keep moving. You might notice that we haven't really upgraded our health any, but that's fine because 30 health is actually plenty. Provided you upgrade your strength a decent amount, the bosses shouldn't last long enough for your low health to be a problem. Also, did you see that? I cleared those guys out. I do think that all of the enemy types are introduced, but there are still variations on all of the enemy types. Stronger variations, I mean. Like, some of them will shoot more bullets, of course. The final video will be showing the final floor, so you'll get to see how much the enemy design has progressed across the course of the game. And it does get a fair bit more challenging, but it still stays mostly the same, because this is a relatively simple game. We have a really cool power-up right now. We have the vampire power-up, which means every enemy we hit gives us some health. well, every enemy we hit with our charge attack. It's actually super useful because you don't need to kill the enemy to get health, so it even works during boss fights. It's the easiest way to stay alive during bosses if you're having that much trouble. You don't ever actually need to get items to replace the one you're currently holding, so if you just wanted to use this for the rest of the game, you could. We're gonna change our power-ups every time we can, though, because I want to show all of them off. This dragon is so big that we don't even get to see his whole body. He has 3 notable attacks. He can fire those energy balls at us, a big energy ball, and he can swipe his claw at us. Which you'll see shortly, I think, yeah. You want to stay a really large distance away from his claw. You can see which distance it's going to swipe in shortly before it does so. And it always swipes across at least half of the screen's length. So yeah, stay a good distance away. The easiest time to hit him is during the claw swipe. If you try to approach him when he's shooting lasers at you, or sorry, energy balls, then you're most likely to get hit, and probably not reach him before the phase is over. So just be patient, watch his claws carefully, and strike them in a way that you're not going to get hit right after you hit them.